Double standards. That's how Senator Fatima Payman has labelled the treatment of two Bankstown nurses filmed bragging about refusing to treat Israeli patients.
Far less than honest reporting here, because they actually threatened to kill people. And in New South Wales, where they were at the time, threatening to kill someone is an offence under the Crimes Act 1900. The maximum penalty for this offence is 10 years in jail.
They've apologised, they have been punished. What is the end goal here?
Senator Fatima Payman fired up over the backlash two Bankstown nurses have received since a video went viral of them bragging about letting Jewish patients die.
They made a terrible comment, yet are being treated as if they have committed the absolute worst crime imaginable.
This is not about it being the worst crime imaginable. It's about the fact that it is indeed a crime, and that we've never had this kind of thing in Australia before. At no point in time have we had medical professionals threatening to murder patients of any ethnicity, any religion, any type of person. Australians have followed the law for starters, but also taken their Hippocratic Oath very seriously. Elements of the offence: intentionally or recklessly sending or delivering a document, in this case a video, that threatens to kill or inflict bodily harm. They both did this numerous times. Knowing the contents of the document, as they did, directly or indirectly causing the document to be received, as it was, a declaration of an intention to end the life of the person threatened. Well, in this case, it was a group that was being threatened. A threat that the person will be killed and not just injured, multiple times.
The Senator's outrage echoed in a joint statement from prominent community bodies saying...
Again, we have less than honest journalism. It isn't just prominent groups, it's peak Muslim groups signed a letter condemning the response to the Sydney nurses as his hypocrisy. That was ABC News, Tuesday, 18th February, 2:25 at 4:48 a.m.
The controversy isn't about what was said in the video of the nurses, but instead the speed, intensity and uniformity of response from the government and the media, describing the weaponisation of the word anti-Semitism in coverage of the incident.
This isn't about anti-Semitism in that sense. The threat could be against any group of people. It could have been against people with green eyes and black hair. The point is, it was a threat of murder, which is not a light thing to do. In a position of authority where a person is placing their trust in somebody to help them when they are extremely vulnerable. Penalties. The court can impose the following penalties for this charge: imprisonment, jail full time, community corrections orders, fine, adjourned undertaking, discharge and dismissal. One would assume dismissal would only ever occur when one has been found not guilty. In this case, where there's video evidence of guilt, dismissal is not possible.
Lara, what more do we know?
Jane, good morning to you. Well, the New South Wales Police Commissioner Karen Webb has described this as a major breakthrough in what has been a thorough and exhaustive investigation. These details, Jane, have just come into the newsroom in the last half an hour or so, and what we know is that 26-year-old Sarah Lebda, she in fact presented herself to Sutherland Police Station at around 7:30 last night. That is in Sydney South. We understand, Jane, that perhaps New South Wales police officers may have been in contact with her lawyers, and that is how she knew to make her way to the police station. She was then subsequently charged with 3 Commonwealth offences. They include threatening violence to a group, using a carriage service to threaten to kill, and using a carriage service to menace, harass or offend.
So this perfectly aligns with New South Wales law that says other threats. There are other offences relating to threats made in certain ways, such as using a carriage service to harass, menace or cause offence to a person. So it is the harass and menace that has been included, not the offence to a person.
Now, the New South Wales Police Commissioner, Karen Webb, she has been speaking on Nine's 2GB radio this morning, Jane. She has confirmed that this is the 14th arrest under Strike Force Pearl. Of course,
Anti-Jewish attacks in Australia quadrupled after October 7th, report finds, and that report was published on the 1st of December 2024, so around 2 months ago. But I think we also need to look at how bad the attacks have become, because there is a difference between being shoved onto the ground and burning a synagogue or bombing a kindergarten or screaming "gas the Jews." All of these things have in fact happened in Australia in the last year. As a result of those attacks, Strike Force Pearl was introduced, and it has recently had its funding increased substantially. The New South Wales Police Force has officially doubled the investigative resource of Strike Force Pearl as officers increase their proactive patrols of schools, places of worship and communities across Sydney in the wake of multiple anti-Semitic attacks. So it's incredibly relevant that this is the 14th arrest for this woman. Not the first time. She has a history of doing this, and we're not privy to what that constitutes, whether it's minor or major. But on that video, she looked pretty serious.
We know already that Sarah, alongside her colleague, have been deregistered from practising nursing anywhere in Australia.
Good. So they can't practice medicine anywhere in Australia, as they shouldn't be allowed to. These people called into question whether people will get care when they enter hospital. Can you imagine being a parent with a kid having an asthma attack, and you're wondering if that kid, your kid, is going to be put on a nebulizer and have their life saved, or if they're going to be murdered and you don't know what's going to happen? Because that's the question that these people made happen for Jews across Australia. And it doesn't matter that they're Muslim. It matters that somebody made a threat to somebody else. One group of Australians threatened another group of Australians. That's a problem.
She has in fact been granted strict conditional bail, but no doubt more details will come on this story. We understand that she will also appear in court next month. Jane?
Lara, thank you.